Subscribe to Bisbo and press the bell icon. See boring news turn into enjoyable stories. In the Hindi movie Shan, Shakal used to throw police informers into a pond full of crocodiles. Legend has it that in North Korea, Kim Jong-un throws them into a pool of hungry piranhas. Stories have leaked that he used anti-aircraft missiles to gun down his uncle Jang Song-taek, the second most important official after himself, the dear leader. And that he torched to death with a flamethrower Oh Sang-hon, an official with the Ministry of Public Security, a close eye of his uncle. His stepbrother, Kim Jong-nam, once expected to succeed his father, was assassinated at Kuala Lumpur airport in 2017 after a poisonous liquid was smeared on his face by two females, one of whom was a YouTuber who thought she was hired to play a prank. Ever since Kim Jong-un came to power in 2011 after the death of his father Kim Jong-il, the North Korean leader has purged 421 people, proving to be more ruthless and eccentric than his already ruthless predecessors. So eccentric is he that he permits only a predetermined set of hairstyles for his people. And of course, nobody is allowed to copy his bouffant or copy the leather trench coat look that became popular in 2019 after he was seen wearing it on TV, as it was disrespectful to copy Kim's style. K-pop, the highly successful South Korean boy band, is banned. That's funny. And at least 7 people have been put to death for watching or distributing K-pop videos. Okay, that's not. Hollywood movies are also banned for their impure ideology, as are skimpy jeans for their impure culture. But most ludicrous of all was the ban from laughing, drinking alcohol, shopping for groceries, or engaging in any leisure activity for 10 days to mark the 10th anniversary of his father, Jong-il Kim's death. But the dear leader spends millions on his own over-the-top tasteful lifestyle. He owns foreign cars, eats caviar, fish eggs, a highly expensive dish, lives in a fancy house, and even owns his own personal train which he uses to travel everywhere, because he's too scared to fly. Meanwhile, the North Korean public, safely hidden from view, half of whom are undernourished and have a per capita income of $1,300, 20 times less than its twin South Korea, has faced many famines, floods, food shortages, and now coronavirus, and received millions of dollars in the form of humanitarian aid under the World Food Program. But still 25% of its almost $40 billion GDP goes into defense, with one of the largest standing armies in the world, 1 million army personnel and 600,000 reserves, almost as much as India and the US. However, these idiosyncrasies would have only been a source of amusement had Jong-un not gone ballistic on the nuclear weapons front. The first of which was tested in 2006 by his father, Kim Jong-il, and which has subsequently been tested multiple times. In 2017, Kim Jong-un tested a nuclear bomb 6 times more powerful than the bomb dropped on Hiroshima in 1945. A feat possible because the father of Pakistan's nuclear program, A.Q. Khan, is said to have helped North Korea in their nuclear program. By the end of 2021, Kim claimed that his country was capable of nuking even the outlying areas of the US. The March 2022 Hwasong 17 missile test was done like a James Bond film. Suspenseful music played in the background as Kim checked his watch and then in slow motion whipped off his sunglasses and nodded as the rocket moved into position. Kim has had 3 meetings in 2018 with the South Korean president Moon Jae-in, April, May, September, but nothing came of it. Donald Trump in 2019 naively went to meet Kim, thinking he could sweet-talk him into an agreement. But North Korea, officially known as the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, DPRK, refused to compromise on its nuclear program, angering the international community even more by supporting and training armies in the African continent, which is a source of their earnings, as is the trade in drugs, ransomware from cyber fraud, and mining of minerals like iron ore and coal, and rare earth deposits that are expected to be worth more than $10 trillion. China, being its largest trade partner, is the one country that has some leverage with Kim. But with US-China relations already cold, with trade wars between the two, and being on opposite sides in the Ukraine war, it is unlikely China will oblige anyone. Kim, while on the one hand is trying to befriend other nations like Iran, who are not in the good books of the US, On the other hand, it is making provocative gestures towards Japan, with test missiles falling into their territorial waters. And like a petulant child, continuing to demonstrate his arsenal despite sanctions. The US is at a loss of how to deal with the Kim regime. There should be no preconditions before the commencement of talks. More worried that in the case of his demise, his stockpile of nuclear weapons could fall into the wrong hands. Which was even more worrying after he was MIA, missing in action for almost a month during April 2020, when it is assumed he underwent a cardiovascular surgery. Was this the reason for giving many diplomatic powers to his stepsister, Kim Yo-jong? Something unheard of in the patriarchal Kim clan. However, the sister too seems to be as impulsive as a brother. Because barely within a month, she blew up the only liaison office between North and South Korea in the North Korean border town of Kaesong. However, she has a rival in Jo Young-won, part of the 5-man Politburo and de facto second-in-command, designated First Secretary, a term used by Kim himself in his early years. Wonder whose heads will roll now that coronavirus has taken hold in the country. A virus they tried hard to avoid by ordering the eradication of all pigeons because they were bringing the virus from across the Chinese border. What is it about dictators? In the 60s, Mao Zedong ordered the eradication of sparrows because they were eating too much grain. Unless Kim Jong-un makes a reckless move, say by launching an unprovoked missile attack on civilian or military targets, his reign appears to be secure for the foreseeable future as the world is overburdened with its own numerous problems. Bisbo's limerick. There's a dictator called Kim Jong-un who launches missiles when he wants to have fun. For us it's a joke, but his people are choked. They'll be happy when he's dusted and done. You will also find these sources listed in our video description section.